Greetings and welcome to day 3 of our vlog on smart thinking, getting rid of the stinking thinking in our lives. Probably one of the most influential ideas to me that I've learned in the last couple years is about the brain. And it's just amazing that we live in this amazing age where they're doing a lot of research on neuroscience. They've come so far with recovery efforts for people with addictions. And then you add all of the rich wealth that the Bible teaches us about the heart and the brain and about thinking. And you put all those together, and it's just exciting to learn these things. Sometimes I know more than I do, and so I need to continue to remind myself about the things that God has revealed to us about our brain and our thinking. And the first thing is that um, researchers are really realizing that every time the scriptures talk about the heart, they're really referring to the brain and a part of the brain that's very central to our lives and influential in our thinking. So I would like to talk with you today about the limbic system. So the limbic system is in the center of your brain, and it's surrounded by the rational part of your brain. And I believe originally God created us in the garden with this part of our brain so that we might have an experience with Him, with intimacy and joy and peace and love beyond all measure, that would be recorded in the limbic system, because the limbic system, the central part of our brain, is an experiential part. It records every experience that we've had, including the hurtful ones, and it tends to protect us. So if it sees danger coming, hurtful experiences, it will take us to something that's a little bit more pleasurable. And sometimes we don't even rationally think it through, that the thing that's pleasurable is really not healthy for us. It's not good thinking. So we explode in anger. We eat what we shouldn't. We make choices to do things that are going to be detrimental in our lives because they're coming from that central wounded part of our brain, which is called the limbic system. When the fall came, the limbic system, or that central part of our brain, really changed. Before it was to experience God in its fullness, and now it's to everything we experience in life is recorded there. And so we need to really pay attention to this part of our brain because it can be very destructive to us in our thinking. And so let's see. It's a place where we decide a lot of our coping mechanisms to life. So if you see, this is your brain, your limbic brain, and this is your rational part of your brain. And sometimes when this is in control, you're hopeless, you're helpless against these thoughts here through your rational brain. When you realize, and the first thing that has to happen is to understand your limbic system and how it works, and to allow yourself to say, okay, I'm not going to be controlled by this. I'm going to take this experience through the rational part of my brain, and I'll make a better choice, and I'll have better thinking patterns because of it. So the thing you need to know about the limbic system is, number one, it does not respond to words. So I can say, I'm not going to do that. And before you know it, you're doing it. I'm not going to get angry at my kids again. And before you know it, you're doing it. Because the limbic system does not respond to words. It responds to experiences and to try to protect you and give you pleasurable experiences and keep you away from hurtful experiences that you've had. The second thing is it's not time related. So that means that something that happened to you when you were 5 can come back to trigger you when you're 50. And you don't even know it until that part of your brain, that part of your experience has been healed. So what do we need to do with the limbic system? Well, we need to first of all realize that when we overreact to situations, there's something going on, a memory that's been recorded in your limbic system that is causing you to think a certain way. And we need to have God do the great exchange. We need to have Him come in and heal that memory, heal that hurt, so it isn't so demanding and powerful in our lives. And the second thing that we need to do is he wants us to learn not to be taken over by it, but to say, okay, I see what's going on. Now I'm going to stop and I'm going to think things through with my rational brain instead of letting my emotional brain, my experiential brain, my triggered brain, my hurting brain affect how I think and how I respond. So the limbic system is really important to understand and really important to evaluate how you've been hurt in that way. And it's life changing, just life changing. So if you have questions about it, I have something typed out that you can read about it, and just send me your email and I'll send it to you in the email. So God's blessings. See you tomorrow for day 4. Oh, I've got some really cool things I want to share with you. Thanks.